Okay, so hey everybody. Just doing a couple of last minute things. It's been a fucking day, hasn't it? There's a lot going on. There's a lot that I don't want to acknowledge what's going on. Oh, well, let's turn that off. Okay. And open up thing. And there we are. Blorg. I'm sitting here with a damn fine cup of black coffee. Black coffee. Black as night. As midnight on a moonless night. If you will. So, okay, let's get that going there. Hey, Mouthman. Ooh, okay. I think we're doing pre-setup stuff. I think that's good. We're gonna head over to the game thing. I don't want us to miss a second of this, which is why it's not currently capturing. Let's just go right into it. So, it's been a week. It's been a week. I know we were doing some stuff earlier this week. Nope, sorry, I don't think you guys are hearing that audio capture. No, you're not. Why isn't that capturing? Audio. Oh, I picked the wrong thing, that's why. Okay. There we go. Alright, that's good. So, it's a bit of a thing. This week. Or I guess it was last week. There may be some weirdness going on with my internet. Let me see. Are we good? Sorry, we're just gonna switch over to oh no, our upload is dropping. That's not good. Why is that happening? Everything looks to be fine. Okay, we'll mute that for now. Why is Twitch suggesting I collab with myself? It's a good question. I couldn't tell you. Let's keep that muted. So, what are we doing today? We are going to take a look at a Twin Peaks fan game called Twin Peaks Into the Night. It is a demo. This is a fan game. There's no purchase affiliated because Twin Peaks is a licensed property. This is like a PS1 demake, kind of love letter to the series. Weird. Anyway, this demo was put together by the Blue Rose team, Jean Manzoni and Lucas Gubert. I'm I'm not 100% sure, but holy shit. I played a little bit of it earlier to see if it ran. It does. Um, it's a time, I'll tell you. Um, but yeah, David Lynch, if you don't know, was the director of Twin Peaks, uh, co-writer with Mark Frost. He did the original Dune movie. Uh, he is the person behind Eraserhead and Blue Velvet and Wild at Heart and Mulholland Drive, and just like to put into words um, Lynch's effect on the state of cinema as a whole is an effort that I'm gonna try to do at some point. I want to write a little bit about it. Um, but yeah, he's an artist, and I feel like that's the greatest like understatement of the world. He's also uh, he's a painter. He's a sculptor. He is a musician. A curator of vibes is my favorite way of putting it. But yeah, man, him passing away is a loss to the industry as a whole. It's a loss to art. He's a once in a generation kind of guy. Um, so it's one of those things, you know. He was getting up there today. It's a shame. Today would have been his 79th birthday. But he was a lifelong enjoyer of tobacco, and that caught up with him. So there's a whole lot to be said on Lynch and consumption. And if you are not familiar with his work, the original name of my YouTube channel and by extension Twitch channel was A Damn Fine Cup of Gaming, referencing the Damn Fine Cup of Coffee moniker bit from Twin Peaks. Um, to say that Lynch was influential to me is again a huge, insane understatement. Uh, rewatching some of his work and then watching some of the documentaries about him, the art life in particular, got me back into school, got me back into creating. When I had let my non-traditional 9 to 5, that wasn't a 9 to 5, get me down. Um, got me back into creating, and I'd say that like it's some recent thing. It's not. It's like I've been watching Twin Peaks since I was a teenager, rewatching it on a every other year kind of basis. Um, but yeah, man, what a fucking guy. It takes a particular kind of person to have the degree of influence that your name becomes a verb. I mean, like, you can look at like slightly slightly worse comparables, but like Lovecraftian, Howard P. Lovecraft was a bit of a shitbag even for his time, but when you help form a genre, it's what you're known for. Um, Hitchcock was a horrendous misogynist, um, and like ruined Tippi Hedren's fucking career, but not the point. He did a lot for cinema. Hitchcockian fucking like he visuals are apparent in like if you can be called out for the inspiration and you can call someone or that action by a name, you can see that degree of influence. Lynch had that degree of influence, and he was just this fucking force of positivity. Um, And you can go into talking about Lynch's perspective on philosophy and things, and talk about it for hours and hours and hours. Have books written on it, but that's not what we're here for today. Today we're gonna enjoy a little bit of a fan thing, because take a little bit of time to remember David Lynch. This game contains disturbing images and explicit scenes. Or explicit flashing lights. That is a legitimate fucking potential seizure warning. This is a fan game based off of the intellectual property of Twin Peaks and is not meant for sale in any way. We do not own the rights to the series or its soundtrack and disclaim any responsibility related to the possibility or possible content demonetization or strike. We'll deal with that. All rights reserved to their respective owners. This demo you're about to play is a work in progress version of a game, and everything you see is potentially subject to change. For any feedback, feel free to contact the development team.
Hey, what's up, Doc? It's Laura, in case you haven't guessed. It's Thursday the 23rd, and I'm so bored.
She's dead. Wrapped in plastic.
I don't know if this is going to get content strikes, but we'll deal.
My mom is dead.
Because it's not. I mean, there is definitely, obviously, bits from the show being displayed, but and that is really fuck. Yeah. So the music might. Well, we might get muted. We'll find out. I might just mess with that a little bit. We can bring it down a little bit. Just for this bit. These are interspersed bits from the show. But yeah, man. Fucking Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks people or party people? Yeah, how do you begin to peel away at the onion of inspiration that kind of makes up the person you are? So, fun bit about that place, if you're familiar with the series, you know the Double R Diner. In reality, it's a fun place called Tweed's Cafe, and it's kind of a living museum for the show. Although it's also a real kick-ass diner. It's a fucking good burger, man. And I did, in fact, have a damn fine cup of coffee and slice of cherry pie while I was there.
Something very, very strange in these old woods. Call it what you want. Darkness, presence. It takes many forms, but it's been out there for as long as anyone can remember.
But yeah, Twin Peaks was this amazing little fucking sight into Lynch's love for Americana and the corruption of the, to use the Jungian term, the collective unconscious, like the slow degradation of a town, or the revelation of its rotting undercarcass, as this entire like fucking community falls apart at the death of one very troubled girl. Man, the fucking sudden stinger. Something's happening. But yeah, man, what is Twin Peaks? It's a hell of a question, and you'd think I'd have an answer for it, but it's kind of something an impossible ask. Because a big part of Lynch's work is that not knowing. Also, flash warning. The magician longs to see. One chance out between two worlds. Fire. Walk with me. It's a vibe. It's a fucking vibe. Also, yeah, I have gone to Snoqualmie Falls, which is the area that a lot of the exterior shots for Twin Peaks were shot in. There's a very specific place that is actually shot here in LA, between the valley and between either side of Mulholland Drive. But yeah, this let's not let it fade back in. This drive where the sign once was did at one point actually have a recognized and official "Welcome to Twin Peaks" sign put in. Put in by the town, and it was immediately vandalized and stolen. So it just goes to show, you can never have nice things, right? Like, fuck. But yeah, that road also did, the river next to it there was a bit of flooding and receding. So it looks a little bit different, but I did in fact go to this particular, it's not a turnpike, this bit of not even highway, it's just a fucking mountain road. With a Welcome to Twin Peaks sticker that I had gotten, and I kind of tried recreating it. There are a couple of trees that are still in the right place that allow you to kind of line up this shot, but this shot, obviously this is PS1ified, but you know, this is the deal. But yeah, a lot of Lynch's work, and shout out to the Blue Rose team, man. Holy shit. Like, I only did a little bit earlier. This is sick. Like, competition for the Bloodborne PS1 port for my favorite D-make of anything. She's there, wrapped in plastic. But so much of Lynch's work is actively attempting to just evoke visceral emotional response, and it's not supposed to be granularly rooted through for official answers on, like, what does this mean? What is this? Did you intend to do this? You're supposed to find that yourself. The experience is the point. I don't know if I can remember the exact quote. There's an interview where he just states, like, people ask after the fact, you know, and what the movie means, and the movie is the talking. The film is the explanation. And I think that's just true across the scope of his work. Like that, like, seizing in your chest you feel when watching Blue Velvet is the point. Also, let's undip that a bit. There we go. Just had to fuck with a bit where it was just like, oh hey, no, that's music.
Diane,
That's
11:30
copyrighted.
a.m., February 24th.
4th, Twin Peaks Day.
Town of Twin Peaks.
I really love this slight gamification of what the intro is.
As W.C. Fields would say, I'd rather be here than Philadelphia. 54 degrees on a slightly overcast day. Weatherman said rain. We get paid that kind of money for being wrong 60% of the time. It'd be working. Mileage is 79,345. Gauge is on reserve. Riding on fumes here. I got to tank up when I get into town. Remind me to tell you how much that is. Lunch was $6.31 at the Lamplighter Inn. That's on Highway 2 near Lewis Fork. That was tuna fish sandwich on whole wheat, slice of cherry pie, and a cup of coffee. Damn good food. Diane, if you ever get up this way, that cherry pie is worth a stop.
Mike is a little sensitive today. Sorry if I'm freaking out in the corner.
Okay. Looks like I'll be meeting up with the Sheriff Harry S. Truman.
It's so crazy to me to like, already this is the best version of the gamification of trying to capture Twin Peaks in a Ludo narrative. Because there are a couple attempts, couple of things that are like, oh man, they really just did not try to even remotely try to get those licenses or those actors, because the money was not fucking there for it.
If we're gonna go to intensive care and take a look at that girl that crawled
back in the actual PS1, PS2 era, there's a game, a Japanese game, which I think recently got a fan translation through emulation, called Mizurna Falls, which is a little bit like what if Twin Peaks from the perspective of a character that is like an amalgam between James and Bobby.
That's what I need. Clean place, be easily priced.
The other major one, and one of my favorites,
Got to find out what kind of trees these are.
Because it's not just the Twin Peaks vibes, it's the insane shit of everything else Swery was doing, was Swery 65's fucking, and this is just, sorry to interrupt myself, but fucking written and bizarrely acted fucking like counter to all of the tropes of daytime television, while simultaneously engaging and outperforming those same tropes. Also, this is a fucking like good ass old tank controls game, y'all. So fucking, if you see Special Agent Dale Cooper doing the moonwalk, it's because I'm playing this on something with an analog stick. And I could use the D-pad, but meh. Man, smell those trees. He's not supposed to be here right now, but don't worry about it. Not from around here, are you? Just got into town. What are you waiting for here outside? Waiting for someone. A friend. Shouldn't be too long now. Alright, I'll leave you to your business then. But yeah, that's some good old tank controls. But yeah, Twin Peaks it kind of lambasted certain daytime drama, while also doing daytime drama better than anything the fuck else on TV at that time. Also, we don't really see Leland before this. This is the convenience of gamification. We have to present things in a different way. There we go. May be able to save my progression here in a future release. No, I was talking about Swery. Swery's game, Deadly Premonition, is a fucking Twin Peaks fan game. Not hungry right now. So, pause is pause. The standard 4 buttons. I think B opens up our menu here. The official manual. I come back to it from time to time. But it also screams of all the other inspirations that you're coming here for. Fucking your Silent Hill. Like, it's so weird to have that circular logic of here's a Twin Peaks fan game that references a Silent Hill menu, UI, and schema. And Silent Hill relied really heavily on Twin Peaks for its vibe. The influence of a single piece of media throughout all of the rest of progressive contemporary media is so fucking crazy to think about. Twin Peaks is the root of 10,000 other fucking properties, man. Sam Lake recently, after it was announced that Lynch had passed away, Sam Lake was like, hey man, Catching the Big Fish was like what got him to fucking do Alan Wake. It was very obvious that was a Twin Peaks inspired property, but fucking just, laying it out there. Yeah. Rights of non-sale clause, liability, limitation of warranty, misuse, negligent, excessive use, or unsuitable equipment, etc., etc., etc. Blue Rose Team. There's their stuff. There's their Twitter link. Blue Rose Team, capitals TP. Blue Rose Team TP at Instagram as well, if you don't want to go on the thing that used to be Twitter. In this manual, you'll learn everything an FBI agent needs to know out in the field. Yeah, we got a little bit of a breakdown here. February 24th, 1989, this morning in the town of Twin Peaks, Washington, the body of a young high school girl was discovered down by the shore, wrapped in plastic. Her name was Laura Palmer. Meanwhile, across state lines, a second girl, Ronette Pulaski, was found walking along the railroad tracks in a fugue state. Because Ronette was discovered across the state line, FBI Special Agent Dale Cooper is called in to investigate. He will find himself at the heart of a deep mystery in a town where nothing is as it seems. So yeah, they're game stuff. Investigation. You can interact with any character using the action button. The more you interact, the more you will learn about them. Alternatively, you can also use items from the inventory to interact with them. You can also interact with many objects in the world around you. Every picture has a story to tell. Inventory. Action button. Use. Yes, I definitely have a PS1 controller plugged in right now. Would definitely make my life easier. Yeah, or Xbox controller or any other supported device, eh? But yeah, little character bios, so you know who's who. But yeah, man, fucking the influence of Twin Peaks is monumental. It's impossible to tabulate into a single fucking number. It's Therese Banks case, Laura Palmer photo. Yeah, and there's all the right stuff and thanks for things. I have nothing to record for now. But I did say we could go to that trash can. Something to interact with there. But yeah, fucking sorry, I'm so scatterbrained today. It's been a weird day. Twin Peaks Gazette in the trash. Twin Peaks is more than just a spot of pine trees. We all know the darkness of the woods surrounding the town. Today they find another meaning. Early this morning, February 24th, 1989, a dead body was found down by Rocky Lake shore by a man going fishing. Laura Palmer, a young 17-year-old girl, homecoming queen, and a true symbol of youthful innocence, whom many of us knew and loved, will now be forever missed. Today is a sad day here in Twin Peaks, and the entire town is mourning her loss. But the morning cold was hiding something else. Ronette Pulaski, a classmate of Laura, was discovered across the state line in a fugue state, covered in bruises. She was immediately transferred to the Calhoun Memorial Hospital here in Twin Peaks. Sheriff Truman is in charge of the investigation and did not comment on the case. An official announcement is expected by the end of the day. Imagine if print media had that quick a fucking follow-up. I don't think there's a run button either. Nope, there is a fucking sudden turn button, so that could be useful. So some of these things are not actually from the show. But we'll get there. But yeah, the other game to play when it comes to Twin Peaks as a video game, aside from the various shit like Alan Wake, which pulls from the feel of Twin Peaks, or is inspired by the vibes, is Deadly Premonition, which wholesale is a Twin Peaks game until it isn't. We've kind of already read what the deal was with Ronette. But yeah. So I saw this earlier today, and I was like, man, that's something I gotta do today. That's what we're doing with our day today. Oh man, static camera, we're gonna suffer. Oh hey, if it isn't Matthew McConaughey from fucking True Detective, probably? Who knows? Haven't you heard? Who could believe this would happen in such a peaceful town? I don't want to talk about it. Got enough problems as it is. Yeah, that's fair. Did you see that girl from earlier this morning? You mean the strange woman who always walks around with her log? The log lady! No, silly, that dead girl the sheriff brought in. Oh, that girl, poor thing, she was so pretty. What could have happened to her? Who knows, she was all covered in blood when they brought her in. Who could do such a thing? So this is the point that I have played up to. I do not know what this demo does beyond this point. I just wanted to make sure that it ran before, or it ran well on my machine before we went on. I'm so tired. It's like this day will never end. Is there anything in here? The detergent has a subtle fragrance of wildflowers and honey. These are the hospital laundry supplies. But yeah, if I had to put like what the vibe is, it is the facade of sincerity is where the vibe of Twin Peaks is strongest. It's this sudden and brutal understanding of like what we want the world to be, what it used to be, what we remember it as. And it's been a hard day as night. You were here this morning? I wish I wasn't. I'll never forget what I saw, what happened to those girls. My daughter goes to the same high school, you know. To think that this kind of horrors could have happened to her, maybe translated, who knows. I'm sorry, but I don't feel like talking about it. Don't want to go into the emergencies department for now. Alright, where the fuck are we? You know what, probably the elevator. Let's just think about the show. Where did things happen? Oh man, a working mirror in a PS1 game? That's unironically impressive. If you know, you know. Twin Peaks annual fishing contest. Last year's champion, Pete Martell, is ready to defend his title. so chunky. I love the vibe
Sheriff
of
Harry, it's Truman.
this combination of
Sheriff
aesthetics.
Cooper, FBI. Pleasure. Good to meet you. Have any trouble finding the place?
No, that should be fine. I came out over Highway 2 near Lewis Fork. I stopped at a little place called the Lamplighter Inn. Had a slice of cherry pie. Incredible.
Well, I'll tell you, we're sure glad to have the FBI here. Kind of lucky in a way that Ron had stepped out across the state line. The whole town is really badly shaken up.
Sure, it's a nice, quiet place, something like this. Sheriff, let me stop you in the hallway here for just a second. There's a few things that we got to get straight right off the bat. I've learned about this the hard way. It's best to talk about it up front. When the Bureau gets called in, the Bureau's in charge. Now, you're going to be working for me. Sometimes local law enforcement has a problem with that. I hope you understand.
Like I said, we're glad to have you here.
Sheriff, what kind of fantastic trees have you got growing around here? Big, majestic.
Douglas firs.
Douglas fir. Can someone get me a copy of the coroner's report on the dead girl?
The autopsy
I saw
hasn't
someone
begun
make
yet.
a post saying that
But
Agent
I'll
Agent
take
Dale
you
Cooper
downstairs
is
to
their
the war
favorite
marshal
fucking depiction of autism in any media, and fair. Ronette must be in her room with Dr. Shelby. Good evening, Special Agent Dale Cooper, FBI. We'd like to see Ronette Pulaski if that's possible. Hey, Adam. How's it going? We're playing a Twin Peaks fan game today. Got a little bit of remembering David Lynch and talking about stuff. Good to see you. It's the first on your right behind the desk. Thank you. But yeah, this is I saw this earlier today, maybe, or was it last night? I don't know. The early AMs. They're just pulling from everything. That's fucking Jack Nicholson from fucking One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, I think. On time for your injection, of course. Don't need no injection. Come on, it won't hurt a bit. Come right here. No. Oh God. Right, I must be in a room with Dr. Shelby. This is actually a really attentive recreation of a hospital room that's like in 2 scenes, 3 even. But yeah, we're here with our coffee, black as midnight on a moonless night. Just enjoying our delve into a really awesome demo. Dr. Shelby, this is FBI Agent Dale Cooper. Doctor, how's the girl? She's in shock, suffering from exposure. What's her physical condition? She's not doing well. Her body has suffered serious physical and psychological injuries. Was she raped? Several times. Connection with the other girl. Sheriff, any connection to the dead girl? Same high school, as far as we know. They hardly even knew each other. No connection. One perpetrator? We're waiting for the results. I'd like to question her. This girl doesn't even know where she is, or if she is. What exactly are you saying? We need a CAT scan, and we're not equipped for that here. My opinion, she may have neurological damage. She's just not responsive at all. Examine her. I'd like to examine her fingers. Alright? They've already scraped for particles. Nah, that's not what I'm looking for. No, nothing here. Not a thing.
No, don't go there. Don't go there.
I love the interspersed audio from the show. Like, I know we're really stretching what can be done with fair use, but like, this is a really cool project. She fainted. We should let her rest. She went through a lot in the last few hours. Sure. Poor girl. Can't imagine what's happened to her. Oh man, these tank controls. They're just as jank as I like them. Any suspect in mind? A couple of small-time kids, but nothing like this. For now, let's go downstairs, take a look at that dead body in the morgue.
Pull him out of the water and think out.
Here's this.
Big mouth and starts talking to me. Pull. Hey.
Dr. Jacoby. Harry. Dr. Jacoby. Terrible, terrible tragedy. Yes. This is Special Agent Dale Cooper. Gary Cooper. Agent Cooper. Agent. FBI. Right. Dr. Lawrence Jacoby. Agent Cooper. Laura was a patient of mine. Listen, you're on your way to the morgue now. Do you mind if I join you? Yes, I do. Why would you want to? It's sort of against procedures, Doctor. Well, no offense. I thought I could be of some help. You still could be at another time. Oh, I understand completely. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Laura's parents. They didn't know that she was seeing me. If you change your mind, I'll be in my office. So, how was my day? My day was alright. It's been a weird day. I woke up late and, kind of planned the rest of my day around this. Kind of just went by, you know. A lot of stuff going on, so we're trying not to think about all of the badness, and we're gonna engage with a fun little send up to the comfy media. And if you're thinking, wow, that's a tonal dissonance of no proportion, fucking talking to a fucking horribly psychologically damaged and physically damaged girl, and then here comes this guy with Hawaii music out of nowhere, and that is very true to form for Twin Peaks. Dr. Jacoby's actual intro is a little more, you know, it's not as goofy, but it's definitely like, who the fuck is this guy, and why does he have a hula girl on his tie that he is, you know, engaging with. This way, says man standing there. Oh, okay, I guess the door he was waiting by is where we're going. But yeah, so we're gonna ignore all of the shenanigans today. Sheriff, I'd like to examine her body, and I'm going to need your assistance. Alright, where should we start? Sure, we'll need it in a second. Date, 2/24/89. Laura Palmer. Age 17. Female. Height 5'7". Weight 120 pounds. Caucasian. Not we're skipping things here. Date and time found, 2/24/89, 7 a.m. Last known alive, 2/23/89, 9 p.m. Usual residence. Address. Next of kin, Leland Slayer Palmer. Relationship parents. Address, same as above, reported by Pete Martell. Description as to where remains found and contact body. Rocky Lakeshore in front of Blue Pine Lodge. Wrists, ankles, and upper arms bound with twine. Entire body wrapped in thick plastic sheeting secured with white strapping tape. Body has been in water, but not waterlogged, covered with sand. And then we are here. Her shoulders. Her wounds are still open. What time did you find the body? Around 7 a.m. There are several claw marks and bites. Could it be animals? She was alive. She was wrapped in plastic. Scavengers could not have attacked the body. Anything else? I forgot what he mentioned specifically in the show. More marks and wounds. Deeper, but still not enough to cause her death. Skin tone is particularly pale. Where'd you find the body? Down by the shore, wrapped in plastic. Must have been floating in the water for most of the night. She bit her tongue several times. She tried to kill herself? I don't think so. The wound is not deep enough. She probably bit herself because of the pain. Anything else? Fuck, what is it? She has several wounds on the back of her head, but none deep enough to be the cause of death. String marks down her ankles, nothing else. There, something on the left hand, but I can't take it. And here is where we use the tool in the old-fashioned... Could use to handle or pick something small. Need to disinfect it first. Okay. Game logic. Hello? There's a sterilizing agent. Will you take it? Okay, this is the game shoehorning in the combination system. I feel like I barely watch movies, so I don't really know who even like classic movies. Just don't watch a lot. Well, Autumn, it's a hard thing to recommend. Hello? No, I just combined the items. Okay, that's. Use the handle or pick something small. Okay. So either I fucked that up or we'll find out. So, like, there's a lot of media that some would say is, like, mandatory watching. Like, I feel like people who go out of their way to say Citizen Kane is required watching if you want to have an opinion about cinema are pompous jackasses. But if you want to, like, get into classic movies, the Criterion Collection is fucking probably a good place to start. Lynch in particular is so, like, unique in, like, his ability to make an ethereal feeling just evoked in a scene. He has this whole diatribe about you know, the magic of movies being able to combine sound and picture and synthesize this unique experience per viewer in every situation. Like, every single time you watch a movie is a unique experience, and that is something that's so, like, critically unique to cinema. Although some people, you know, you could argue that same thing with the Ludo narrative of video games. That might be why we're here today. But Lynch is hard to recommend because a lot of the themes of his stuff, it's like this super, like, layered and visceral and, like, bad feel kind of thing. A lot of his stuff, like, touches on, like, the remembrance of, like, the degradation of the American, like, moral conscious, like, collective subconscious, and down to the personal level, down to, like, a huge scale. But if you can watch, like, the first 20 minutes of Eraserhead and be fine, you'll probably get through the rest. But visual metaphor is so important.
Diane, I'm at the Twin Peaks County morgue with the body of the...
But it is kind of difficult. It is something that evokes, like, a real visceral reaction.
I got it before the autopsy.
So, like, the best intro would be just to watch Twin Peaks, because at the end of the day, it's a very funny whodunit with some silly characters. But it's also, like, this horrendous, like, deep-seated feeling of, like, wrongness, and how, like, the facade of everything that we hold in high regard is just a single fingernail scrape away of being taken off and showing the deepest, blackest pit of the heart of your community and the world and just everything turning to fucking oil.
What do you got? Ring finger under the nail.
But if you can like dig that vibe, then shit, there's no one better for it. Lynch plays a lot with not only visual metaphor, but also the letter R under the fingernail. Plays a lot with visual metaphor, but he also plays a lot with like basic sequencing. Like Mulholland Drive is a really amazing movie, and I think it just hit the million view thing that Criterion tracks. It's a really great movie, but it is 3 simultaneous iterations of the same story and then other shit happening, and it does not handhold you into what the sequence of events are occurring, what is real, what isn't, when things happen. None of that matters.
Diane, give this to Albert and his team. Don't go to Sam. Albert seems to have a little more on the ball. We need to bag and tag this.
Okay, Cooper.
But yeah, if you like Twin Peaks, or if you have not heard of anything, watch Twin Peaks. If you like Twin Peaks, then there's a whole bunch of other media out there for you, because it is a cornerstone of media. Well, you have all the time to tell me about this in the car. If you have anything to do before we leave, now's the time. I'll wait for you outside. So I'm going to go ahead and think that now is the time to use... We can look at the Teresa Banks folder. No use. Inspect. I mean, once you decide whether or not you're in with Twin Peaks, there's a whole bunch of recommendations to make. Few video games. Some direct corollaries, some attempted adaptations, some just very heavily inspired. Alan Wake is a big one. A lot of people enjoy. And Alan Wake 2, like the DLC for that is like is so fucking Red Room. It's like not even contestable. Similar piece of paper with the letter T was found under the left ring fingernail of Teresa Banks. Nothing to record. Okay, interesting. So like it's this situation where like I do recommend watching any of Lynch's stuff. I would say start here. Briefcase, like the one of the man waiting outside the hospital. Weird. Okay. But yeah, it's like genre defining is a rare descriptor. But there's no more apt description for Lynch's work. Something's wrong. Oh no. All right. I preempted the bit. There's something in the toilet. This is a little more Silent Hill than I was expecting. Hello? Ouch, in my teeth. Oh no! Tragic. Oh man. We're exactly where we need to be. Where am I? Universe out to get me again. The universe can go fuck itself. It's been making a lot of decisions for us lately that I just do not agree with.
What are you thinking about? The Great Northern is it's a lot of work for us to do in 2 days. They're both full days. So there's not much wiggle room. It's kind of like the firemen's. We just have to tell them. You know, shooting the sub.
I want to let you know on Monday, Beverly is going to come visit.
I think this is from one of the behind the scenes things from The Return. Because they're talking about shooting schedules.
Beverly, her availability, we have her for these 2 days and that's it.
We are like the dreamer who dreams and then lives inside of the dream.
We could ban. Now this finishes Ben.
That finishes Ben.
So we pay him more money to keep him around. Well, I know, but the thing is, like, you know, we're not on location where we have to, you know, that we own the stages, you know. It just drives me nuts that we have to do stuff in 2 days. Somebody arbitrarily says you gotta do it in 2 days. That fucking really pisses me off. It really does.
There's a good fucking example
I'm not working this
of Lynch.
horrible. We never get any extra shots. We never get any time to experiment. We never get to, you know, go dreamy or anything. We barely fucking make our days. I could have spent a week in the fireman's. I love that place. Dream up all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, this was,
You know, that it's sick, this kind of fucking way to do it. You don't get a chance to sink into anything.
This was a behind the scenes thing that I think they even, they launched it it was a post-episode fucking stinger thing. You know when Game of Thrones was doing those after-episode, like, fucking Q&A bullshit sessions? Showtime tried to do the same thing. And they really were just like, okay, here's more with Lynch. And one of those interviews was Lynch being pissed off about how limiting their fucking shoot schedule was. Because, you know, the more time you spend in a thing, the more time you spend engaging with an idea and seeing what else you can do with it, the better the outcome.
Our next day in the sheriff's office, I think, is mellow.
Okay. I think it just reset.
What are you thinking about?
It's very funny that they keep that here in the Black Lodge or the Red Room. And yet we've recurred. What is going on here? The statue looks sad. But yeah, man, when Lynch passed away, everyone came out and started, you know, talking about the various interactions they had with him, a lot of the people he worked with, a lot of people who worked for him. Oh man, are we stuck in the loop? Am I missing something? I might be missing something. Because we're coming out of this side, which means that the only way forward should be on the opposite corner. It's hard to tell. This being an infinite loop is also... Oh, well, the statue's gone, so... Maybe that's... Maybe that's it. It is, okay. Something new. This is a golden heart necklace. Do you take it? Sure. But yeah, just... use doesn't work. Inspect. Something is marked on it, but I can't read it. I wonder where the other half is. But yeah, man, just a whole bunch of interviews, a whole bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff, a whole bunch of things where it's like, there was this interview with Angelo Badalamenti, who is the composer behind the Twin Peaks soundtrack. Amazing artist. On speaking on his experience with David, and how David just described a scene to him, and he was like, I want you to play out what you think this is, and then go a little bit higher, go a little lower, we'll see where it goes, and then just discovering what the Laura Palmer theme eventually became, just as Angelo was playing. These candles are arranged in a very precise way. Seizure warning. There was a flashing lights warning. I'll have to be a little more direct about it. But yeah, no, just seeing like all of the prior experience and the love and just the reminiscing with people posting this stuff. One of the coolest things I saw this week was the actor who played Deputy Hawk. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but he went and visited the L.A. Bob's Big Boy, which is where for about 7 years Lynch spent his lunch every single day, where he would get a chocolate milkshake, a cup of black coffee. Do I have something in my inventory that I can use? I feel like I might have fucked something up with that. We'll have to go see. But yeah, he would order a chocolate milkshake, a cup of black coffee, and he said he would sit there, and if an idea came to him, that he would use the napkins on the table to write out his ideas, and it was like the best office he could ever ask for. And you say to yourself, Connor, should you have played this a little bit more and known what the fuck beforehand? And I say no. Initial reaction is what's most important. Okay. This is the internal non-logic of the fucking, of the Black Lodge, of the Red Room. This infinite looping nightmare. But yeah, and people went out to that Bob's Big Boy this week, and the Big Boy statue outside is up to its waist, and this is like a 2-scale person statue, up to its waist in notes and flowers and little remembrances of Lynch and his work and quotes and just all this stuff. And yeah, Hawk, who is one of the very few people left from the original cast, still alive. Because last year we lost Harry Dean Stanton, and I feel like I'm missing something. I might be missing something. Looks like there's something missing. Okay, we gotta keep an eye out. I think there's an arm of the statue not there. Arranged in a very precise way, and if we go to the back, it brings us to the hallway with $2K channel points. Whoop. I promise, Autumn, by next week we will have something for you to use those channel points on. Beyond said that they were going to help me out with setting some of that stuff up, and I've already got some ideas. Oh no, is this where I get trapped in a loop because I'm dumb? It might just be. Like something's missing. Nope. I'm not even using the 40k something on Beyond's. I mean, Beyond does have that one, he does have that one redeem where you can tell him to change his game, so the next time he plays Valorant, you can tell him to do literally anything else. Which I think is both good for you and the audience, and him. Oh, okay. Interesting. Damn, that bad? I mean, it's Valorant, man. I don't know. It's now looking the other way. But yeah, I got a couple of ideas, and I'm gonna bully him into make. Oh, it's the room. Oh man, this fucking shot, this scene. I have recreated this in a couple of creatable games. My Animal Crossing island from New Horizons there's a whole thing in my house that is just this. And we sit. Water needs to be there. I do have water with me. I have been drinking. The water, that is. But yeah, just the combination of the flow of the music and the necessary silence and the extra long focuses on scenes is just something Lynch is really, you know, it demarks his work. Also, this shit. Fucking, these scenes in the Red Room had their audio recorded. They then played the audio in reverse and recorded it. Then they did that again so that you're hearing the audio play forward after it was recorded backwards, being played backwards. Who the fuck else could think of something like that? Where am I? This is the waiting room. The waiting room? For what? That's a good question. For me? For me? Who are you? Don't you recognize me? Are you Laura Palmer? I feel like I know her. Sometimes I dream of a man in a world of fire. She's filled with secrets.
I'll see you again. Meanwhile.
I said I would wait until I hit my weight loss goal to do it, but I feel like there's no better time than the present, but also it's gonna have to wait until I know what I'm working with. The voice was kind of scary. Yeah. Shit being scary is kind of the bag. It's like, it's feel good fading into feel bad, feeling into like, no, this is betraying the rules of what I think cinema is. There's this one real fucking critical fucking scene with the antagonist of the series, Bob, where he steps, like he grabs the back of a couch and he walks over a couch towards the camera, but because of the way it's Aaron Fletcher. But yeah, no, it's such a fucking good show, man. um, like, I hate to memify my fucking, deep feelings of respect and fucking, like, appreciation for a thing, but it's like the fucking bit where you're like, oh man, thank you for changing my life, and then you just hear ethereal whooshing and a picture of Kyle MacLachlan. Yeah, that's me in Twin Peaks. To be continued. Thank you for playing. But yeah, man, like, David Lynch and Julia Cruz, music by Angelo Badalamenti. It's hard to describe the vibe. Oh man, they're I hope they are able to successfully complete this project, because this is just the demo. But it's such an awesome fucking just depiction of a thing. Fan game based on the intellectual property of Twin Peaks and is not meant for sale in any way. All rights reserved for their respective owners. Marketing for the software is strictly prohibited. I am not being paid to play this. I'm not being paid to tell you to go and check out the demo. There's no money being made in this. So, fair use. Fan creations can and should exist, because what a unique fucking perspective. But yeah, that was like a couple of fun little things on top of what was the first 15-20 minutes of the first episode. Well, like those handout at funerals with the clearly not good for funeral picture in front of a stretched out pig that shares to heaven with wings on the side of an ugly cursive font. That always comes to mind. The hands out at funerals, clearly not good. Oh, like a brochure or something. Oh, you can walk back into town? No, you can't. Okay. The log lady's there. We gotta go back to the log lady. As much as I love it, I really would love for this VOD to continue to exist, so I gotta... Oh no, I started it again. Let's switch scenes.
February 24th, 1989.
As much as I love it, it will have to stop. But yeah, that was a fun demo. That was a fun little thing. And being able to just, yap a little bit about Lynch's work. I mean, shit, man, the Damn Fine Cup of Gaming, the old channel name, the current YouTube channel name, it's a send-off to that scene with Kyle MacLachlan where he just, he stops a waitress to say, hey, this is a damn fine cup of coffee. And the show is all about just these super interesting characters, and it's also the best example of how certain media should basically just remain untouched. Like the Twin Peaks suffered so much from studio like hyper involvement. Let's actually keep it running because I don't want to just be sitting here if someone hops in and is like, why don't you play the thing? But yeah, Lynch at one point left the show, and that was like mid second season, where the game, where the show just kind of turned to shit because Mark Frost, as great a writer as he is, should not be left unchecked and unedited. And there's a lot of back and forth. Studio involvement killed the show and ended it early because that thing could have gone on forever, but it didn't, because the question was so pertinent to pop media at that time. Who killed Laura Palmer? And they wanted a fucking answer. So they went with it. They presented the answer, and then they continued the show for an extra 12, 13 episodes. And that show ended on a line of, I'll see you again in 25 years. And then 25 years later, Lynch made The Return, which, if you were waiting 25 years for what was presented, it's one of two different things, man. You got one of two reactions. It's either you are here for a Lynchian experience and you were satisfied with what you got, and you read into shit after the fact and you made whole meta narratives about things, or you wanted your fucking 90s TV show to continue and you're like, well, why didn't I get my character immediately? Why wasn't this person presented the way that they should have been? This particular character got snubbed for scenes, etc., etc., etc. It's very divisive. But yeah, man, fucking once in a generation. You cannot fucking match Lynch. And I mentioned it earlier, but I don't hear. Like, it takes a very influential person to have their name be a verb or an adjective, to be a descriptor of like what something is. You can describe things as Lynchian the same way that I can describe Cthulhu as a Lovecraftian product. Not that anyone should ever call Cthulhu a product, but we are current year argument. But yeah, he would have been 79 today. But Lynch, I missed a whole bunch of shit. Let's just watch the demo reel and see what I missed. It's just crazy. The world is lesser to have lost that perspective. Because if you asked me, like, what I would define an artist as, I would point you to David Lynch. I would point you to any of the documentaries. I would point you to the books that he's written, that have been written about him, that have been inspired by him. Because he was all about the creative process. He was all about, just going out there and creating, and the separation of suffering and expounding about suffering. You can write about tragedy and not have to put yourself through tragedy to do so. And that you, as an artist, have to find your satisfaction in the work. That, if money comes from it, great, but fucking when you create, you are there to be a fount of expression for an idea. That an idea comes to you and you hang on to it, you write it down, you hang on to it as needed, you do what you have to, but you make it fucking work and you put the work in, and that you find that joy in the work, and that you find that joy in people. And he definitely, when it came to Lynch's take on transcendental meditation and its its relation to the creative process. It's something that I didn't really appreciate when I was younger. But, like, as someone living with chronic pain, transcendental meditation is difficult. But it's something that, like, if you just give yourself a moment to fucking breathe and take in the world around you, you can realize what a beautiful and also fucking awful place it is. that ambivalence, that juxtaposition is so ever present in everything. And to be able to point to something and say, this is how you express that, it was such a gift. And, you know, like, there's a billion memes about shit, because, like, there's that interview with him. I would bring it up on screen, but I would definitely get copyright takedowns. There's that interview with him where he just goes off on a note about how Eraserhead is his most spiritual film, and the interviewer just says, oh, well, you know, expand on that. And he turns to him and he says, no. Fucking that's the kind of guy you're dealing with. You're like, the caricature that David Lynch is something that is so needed in the world and is extinct. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy that he's gone, and it's sad. Like, but, you know, not to be super weird about it, because I don't know. I think there's something in the nature of analyzing art, not for the sake of breaking it down to its core components and themes and messages and whatever the fuck it is, but there's something in art that, if you're in the written medium, if you're in the visual medium, if you're in an audible medium, regardless of what it is, there is a communication that happens. There is a pathway between you and me, between the artist and the audience, between the observer and the observed, that is this embodiment of empathy that is so impossible to put into a tangible thing outside of that experiential fucking meaning. That ultimately, like, you can read a book and you can read between the lines in a book and you can understand, like, if someone is writing with pain and someone is writing with experience, if they're writing with heartbreak, and then that fucking message is communicated to you in such a way that you're able to reciprocate and expound upon that evoked emotion. That is something so unique to art. That is something that you cannot put words to unless words are your art. If you are reading something written that in such a way that it evokes that feeling, that is the art doing its job. But it's not something that you should have to worry about the fucking price tag on at the end of the day, you know? The commercialization of shit is fucked. And the fact that, like, Twin Peaks is a product of its limitations. There's a lot in that show that could have been better with budget, and then there's shit in the return that's like, holy shit, why? Why is this what it is? And it's because there was budget. Like, to go from personal interaction to a flashback to the dropping of the A-bomb and how that affected the world in an ethereal way, and to zoom in to, like, nothing but dust particles and fire and violence and the core element of evil being made manifest for 8 minutes on screen in a fucking TV show episode. Dude, where else are you gonna get that? That's the kind of shit that you would turn to David Lynch for. Lynch did the impossible when he made fucking Dune when he did. And he only took on that project because he didn't want to fucking work with... he didn't want to work with George Lucas on Star Wars.
Diane.
There's so much, man. There's so fucking much. I can go on forever. I would say anybody here who is within the sound of my yapping, if you haven't, watch Twin Peaks. It's a good time. Twin Peaks are party people. People who like Twin Peaks are party people, after all. I can literally go on about this forever, but we're not gonna do too much tonight. We checked out the Into the Night demo. It's a fun little demo. There's stuff I did not see in it, so take your time, download it. It's free to download right now. It's still available over on itch.io. I'm gonna post the link in the Discord. Here's the part where I get to bitch about the state of things. Hey guys, welcome if you're not a regular here. My name's the Damn Fine Cryptid. You can tell I might be a Twin Peaks fan. We've got a lot going on here. I would like to play more games like this. I've been discussing and looking into making a functional version of Deadly Premonition, which is the other Twin Peaks inspired game that, you know, got localized, playable. Been wanting to do that for a while, so we might do that soon. But if you'd like to hear me pontificate and wax poetic about shit and be a resident sad boy or sarcastic dickhead, go ahead, hit the follow button. We've got a YouTube backlog, which I fucking really hope this doesn't get muted so I can put it on there. But we've been messing with some Badalamenti fucking background for a while now. There's also our Discord. If you want to hang out, there's an entire memes channel for Twin Peaks memes and other weird shit. Head over there. It's cool. It's a good time. And we got YouTube for the backlog, so if you guys head over there and hit that button, I'd appreciate it. The more people we have over there, the more the algorithm will allow us to exist. But yeah, I appreciate y'all hanging out. I know it's a little bit shorter today, but I only wanted to have some fun with this, and I just wanted to say some stuff, you know? Fucking rest in peace, David Lynch. You were a fucking real one, man. The realest fucking person. And aside from me, go on if you can, if you have access. If not, pirate it, because fuck capitalism. Find the documentary fucking The Art Life with David Lynch, which is about basically his life up to the point where he made Eraserhead. It is a wonderful insight into a very complex person. There's also his book, fucking Catching the Big Fish, which is great. And there is, of course, the show Twin Peaks. Go watch Twin Peaks. Do it now. Even. I think it's on, what is it, Paramount Plus? God, that license gets fucking tossed around more than anything, but, yeah, man. Fucking legends go, and then we gotta keep going. You know? Let's see. Let's see what we can do. Is there anybody else streaming this? Let's find out. As we get played out to this adaptation of the theme. Oh, I am literally the only person fucking playing this. Cool.
Diane.
Fuck. That's fine. Well, let's see. Is Beyond still on? We'll raid into Beyond's stream if y'all would like to stay on. But yeah, please hit buttons, hang out. I appreciate it. If you're here listening to this, then you'll like all my other shit. Probably. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but appreciate y'all. And go get yourself a damn fine cup of coffee. Call it a night.